Hello and welcome to another episode of Wednesdays with We. Thank you ladies for joining us. We have Amy Keller, one of our executive directors. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Jackie.
And we have Eva Jelezova joining us from Littelfuse. Eva, thank you so much.
Hi, Jackie. Thanks for having me.
Oh, and thank you for taking the time out because I know everybody's schedules are so busy, but we have some of these important topics to discuss. So with that, Amy, maybe I'll turn it over to you to discuss our topic today.
Sure. I'm super excited to be here talking with Eva and you about our topic today for Wednesdays with We on leadership qualities that are so essential for times of change. And not only are these leadership qualities that we're going to talk about so important for times of change, but they're qualities that help leaders thrive. And I really think that's the key, is the difference between surviving in times like this and thriving and bringing our organizations along with us. There's so many essential leadership skills that we've seen some leaders exhibit and others that really haven't taken the time to notice how important these skills are. Eva, I know you're leading a team at Littelfuse, and I don't know if you have any thoughts around this topic that you could share with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of the things that I'm sure we're all dealing with right now, a lot of change, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of adjusting that needs to happen. And it's interesting because in this time here to stay, and we probably have to adjust our new normal. And some of the things that are needed today, I think, are skills that research have shown over and over again, are skills that women typically tend to exhibit. Things like, essential skills like adaptability, humility, empathy, communication. And those are things that I think we need a lot of today. And we've seen a lot of, articles and news that have come lately of women leaders who've been really excelling at dealing with this in their situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jackie, what are your thoughts with regards to some of the most important areas that you've seen some of the leaders thrive in times like this?
Well, I think if I look at some of the leaders, definitely first and foremost is the compassion, the empathy, understanding. I think those are very strong skills. Like, we look at those typically as weaker skills, but they're not. They're coming from a position of power and strength. So I think nowadays leaders can lead from a very high position if they just tap into their emotional intelligence, their self-awareness. And I think in modern times, in order to be progressive in our society and business, we have to look at leadership different, and what the soft skills versus hard skills, it's all now changing. And so that's why a lot of the trainings we do, for instance, at Women in Electronics are so important, because it's not just for women, it's for men too. We all need to develop ourselves, right? So I think this is a very important leadership topic. Eva, what are you seeing, say, in your job? You lead teams of people. Are you finding that men and women are exhibiting these skills, or what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think they're skills that both men and women exhibit, but I think sometimes some leaders tend to be more predisposed or kind of naturally inclined to exhibit certain skills. I like what you said earlier, Jackie, about a little bit about vulnerability. I think this is a time where there's a lot of uncertainty. Nobody is quite sure how everything is going to unfold, and there's a lot of predictions out there. But, the ability of a leader to come out and say, hey, I don't know, here's what I know, here's what I don't know, and then here's how we're going to move forward. I think it's very important right now. Amy, what is your impression in your position, and how do you handle those kind of things?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. And, we had a book of the quarter of last year that Women in Electronics was reading, and it was by Brene Brown about vulnerability. And, saying it's okay not to know and have all the facts, but understanding that people are looking to you for that guidance, giving them encouragement, as well as the sense that you do have a team of experts and around you, and that you're going to make the very best decision with everyone in mind, and taking them along on this journey is so, so important. So, you know, that vulnerability aspect, people admire, and you use that. It's very powerful, and in ensuring that the organization is committed, and you're committed to the organization and serving them and driving your organization forward. So it's definitely an important skill. And the other one I would say is communication. Just over communicating in all facets. You know, not everybody absorbs content in the same way. And I'm a firm believer, whether it's a video call like this and or just over communicating on email and letting the organization know that we don't have all the answers. We don't know what tomorrow will look like in some areas, but other areas we know exactly what's going on, and sharing that with the broader organization is so powerful.
Yeah. And really, communication is one of the things that you as a leader cannot delegate.
True. They want to hear from you, right? They want to hear directly from you.
Absolutely.
Of where our organization is going. So important. Jackie,
well, I think it's a great, I actually think it's a great topic. I think that we could probably talk about it for, you know, a long time, but I think the leaders that are communicating, say, for instance, I've seen on LinkedIn, I've seen CEO of companies putting a video message out there. I think it goes very far, not just for their companies, but for the industry too, because I think when you're a leader in an industry, you have to also know that other people look to you. So it's really interesting when something happens, like a sudden change, like just what happened to all of us with COVID-19. And this discussion isn't just for this circumstance, because it applies to any change, you know, that comes our way. But in this circumstance, it also was very comforting for me when I would see leaders of companies in the industry that actually had a video message for the industry and for their people. And it just made me feel a sense of safety and that the right leaders were in place. So I think that leaders need to understand that everyone looks to you to lead, not just your own company, right?
So true.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So any more thoughts, Eva?
No, I think, I mean, those are some great points here. And we talked about, you know, I think vulnerability, communication. I think the other thing that for me, it's very important right now is adaptability. I was listening to a presentation the other day of somebody who had climbed Mount Everest, and he was talking how the people that survive on Mount Everest are not typically the ones that are most physically fit, because everybody who takes that trip is usually pretty on top of their shape, pretty physically fit. But it's really the people who are the most adaptable, the ones that make it to the top. And to me, that was really powerful and something that I took away as an important characteristic, especially in times like this, of how we move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was a great point.
That is powerful. And I think, you know, even on the adaptability front is ensuring that your lieutenants or the people that are working for you that have teams have access to information, and that they're empowered to make decisions quicker than having all the information funnel through you, but using your broad network of people and to help make some of those decisions can make you far more nimble than having it the old traditional command and control type of atmosphere. So yeah, using all that you have, all those resources is so important.
Yeah, and then finally, Eva, you and I had talked about this prior. We've had a couple discussions recently about this, and even when you're a leader, making sure if you're adaptable and you're one of those leaders who's shifting and changing and progressing, that you have the team around you who can do that too, so that you can make those changes when need to, because, you know, it doesn't mean that every personality type's in the right position to be able to adapt quick enough. So your immediate team has to be adaptable, right, in their personality. So
absolutely. And really being, I love what you said, Amy, about being nimble and kind of using your resources. And I think this is both resources within your company, but resources outside your company. And I mean, I've called Jackie multiple times to like brainstorm about things and using industry connections and people that I've met through WE that have been so instrumental for me, or listening on some of the materials that we have on the website. So I think it's kind of being flexible and being able to take different bits and pieces from different areas to in order to adapt.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I so enjoyed talking with you ladies today. Appreciate the time. It's always great to catch up and have some new ideas come forth. So thank you.
No, and Eva, thanks for joining us. You guys look so beautiful today. And I'm like, wow, next time I got to get freshened up. So thanks for being here. And
thank you.
okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.